Welcome to the podcast via a phone call. Hello, Gizelle Bryant.
Hello.
How is it doing press these days in a time of quarantine?
um, it's funny because I'm used to all this glam, and it's left to my own devices, and sometimes I get it right and sometimes I don't. So it's been interesting, but I'm happy to be here.
Yeah. How often are you putting on makeup these days?
It depends. I maybe like 4 times a week.
Okay. I feel like that's
Yeah.
still a pretty good
Is that a
amount.
lot?
Yeah.
Well, now I am. Like in the beginning of the quarantine, it was like not at all. For like weeks, I had on no makeup, and I was very, very happy about it. Gave my skin a time to breathe.
Right. Um, yeah, I'm currently sitting with no pants on and haven't even showered today. So I commend you for your efforts.
Nice. I love it.
So I know that recently you participated in Bravo's Instagram Live conversation Amplify Our Voices. I want to know,
Mhm.
like, how important is it to you right now to be using your platform to discuss issues like racial equality and social justice?
It's huge, and it has actually made me. I mean, I've always appreciated my platform and appreciate the fact that I do have the ability to touch a lot of people with my social media, and thankful for Bravo for that. But now, with everything that's been happening, I so much more appreciate it because right now our voices really need to be heard and understood. And if I didn't have this platform, it would be a little bit more difficult. I've talked about the fact that my daughters were adamant that we went to a protest, and we went, and when we got home, which was amazing, by the way, and then when we got home, they were mad at me because I didn't get on the microphone and give a speech. And I was like, what? Like, they understand my platform, and they want me to use my platform as much as I do for this subject. I mean, they really want me to explain to everyone about injustice and inequality, and what we need to do and the tools that we need in order to make our future just equal. That's all we're asking for. We just want to be treated equally and not be in fear of the police. I mean, I should never feel like when I see a cop car coming down the street, I should never feel like, uh-oh, something bad's going to happen. So yes, this platform is very important right now.
God, you must be so proud of them for them to understand, the importance right now of you using your platform.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, my kids are amazing. My kids get it. My oldest is 15, my twins are 14. They understand, I'm their mom. Their dad is their dad. And, he and I have been working. We met at the NAACP, and, obviously that's a civil rights organization. So these conversations of racial inequality are not foreign to them. These are conversations that we have with them on a regular basis at the dinner table. So they get it, and they are clear. When we all watch, and by the way, I'm unable, and still to this day, to watch the entire 8 minutes, almost 9 minutes of seeing George Floyd murdered. I'm unable to watch it because it just is sickening to me. I watched the majority of it, and then I'm like, okay, I can't, because it makes me almost want to cry. I want to throw up. I want to, it invokes so many emotions. But when my kids saw it, they too were like, that's it, enough. We're going out here and we're protesting and we're marching. When the first marches started happening in DC, there were some looting, and there were some cases of fires and those kinds of things. And then we did watch when the president had peaceful protesters pepper sprayed and, tear gas and all that. So my kids wanted to be there. But I, as a mother, I'm like, okay, it's one of me, it's three of them. I can't do that. I can't bring them to a situation in which I feel like that they're going to be in danger. So I waited a couple days for things to kind of calm down a little bit. And then, we were able to find a protest that was entitled a peaceful protest. And that made me feel better. I mean, I can go down there and be tear gas, but I just don't want my kids to have to go through that.
I mean, completely understandable. Have you been in touch with the other Potomac housewives in these recent weeks?
Yes, Robyn, of course, Candiace, Wendy, Ashley. Wendy's great. You'll love her. But, one of her jobs, she's going to tell you she got about 14 jobs. But one of her jobs is that she is a commentator for Fox News. And so this is her lane. She's fighting the good fight and has been for a while. And, Candiace lets everybody know that, she's got her fist in the air and she's ready to be as vocal as she can possibly be. But again, this isn't anything new for Black people. Were we saddened? Were we hurt when we all saw George Floyd murdered? Absolutely. But we weren't shocked. None of us were shocked, which is even more upsetting.
Yeah.
So now that we have all races standing behind us, fighting with us, it's a different ball game, because we know at this point we can really, really invoke some change.
You were speaking earlier about how your daughters recognize, that you have a voice, you have this platform, as the daughter of a civil rights leader. What was it like for you to grow up with a parent in the public eye?
I'm going to be honest. Growing up, my dad would talk about racism and inequality and hope, and hoping that this world would change and we would see a brighter day. I took it for granted. I thought that everybody's parents were doing what my dad was doing. And so, I got it, but I didn't really appreciate it like I do now. Now that I am a parent and I have these kids to raise and instill core values in, I get it. And I'm so proud of my dad and the work that he's done. And, he was always instilling nuggets in me as it relates to standing up for who you are, standing up for what you believe in. Don't ever let anyone take you for granted or marginalize you. So those kinds of things have always been instilled in me, and I totally appreciate it.
Well, now you and your partner, your daughters have two parents in the public eye. How do you help them navigate that?
It's funny because I think that they treat it the same way I did. I think they're just used to it. It's not a big deal. Their father has always been extremely well known, and they have always been very well aware that he's always somebody that's in the Black community that is trying to make sure that the Black community gets everything that they're supposed to get with regards to housing, with regards to education. So, he, when they were very young, would always take them with him for rallies, for marches. So, my kids are clear who their parents are and what we stand for, which makes me happy because there's no confusion. And they're right there with us. So there's never a moment where I'm like, hey, guys, we're going to go walk 100 blocks and protest. They will beat me to the car to get there. They're very proud of who they are and their Black skin. They're very proud of it.
What is or was the most important thing for you to teach them as Black children?
As I've raised these girls to be strong and to be smart and to understand that, and I think every Black mother has said this to their child, in order for you to succeed in this country, unfortunately, you have to be twice as good, you have to be twice as fast, You have to be twice as smart as the white person standing next to you, or you cannot advance. Everyone, unfortunately, every Black mom has said that to their child because of how things have been set up in this country. It's never been fair for us. So in order for us to get the same job, you can't just be as qualified, you have to be more qualified. Hopefully one day that won't be the case. But right now, my kids know that they have to be better, smarter, stronger in order for them to make it in this country.
I think that's important for people like me to hear. I appreciate you sharing that.
You know, I've heard from so many of my white friends, and, you know, they're so apologetic. They're like, Gizelle, I'm so sorry. And, you know, that's nice that, you know, their apologies. And it's nice that finally other races are seeing what we've been going through. I don't know what happened. Like, I don't know what everybody has missed. You know, we've had Rodney King, we've had Eric Garner, we've had Ahmaud Arbery, we've had Breonna Taylor. I mean, we had so many moments. But I'm grateful that we're here now. And, you know, this is not to make white people feel bad. This is to make all of us better. My mom always says, the truth will set you free. You know, now everyone knows the truth. And so hopefully we can all just do better and be better.
Well said. Aside from, you know, the amazing work you guys have been doing, going to the protests, having these conversations, what is the self-isolation quarantine time been like for you and your girls?
This has been the worst. Okay. So, you know, we started out with the kids doing their school via online. And, you know, thank God my kids are old enough that they're able to do that on their own. I don't have to help them because I don't, you know, I'm going to be honest, I don't understand the work that they do. Like, I don't understand the math. Mm-hmm. I don't understand, you know, half the stuff that they do. So I'm happy that they were able to do it on their own. School is now over. So, you know, we're just trying to find things that we can do to kind of like occupy our time. We always go on long walks, or, you know, have a bunch of bikes here. We ride bikes. We kind of spend the mornings all together, and then the rest of the day, you know, we do our thing. But I am looking forward to coronavirus being over. You know, it's enough. So I do want everybody to stay healthy and safe.
You guys are spending, you know, as with all families right now, you guys are spending all your time together. Who of the family is annoying each other the most right now?
If you ask my kids, they're going to tell you me. Okay. Uh-huh. They're going to tell you that I am the worst. I'm so annoying. That's their favorite thing to say to me. I'm so annoying. Because, you know, I'm going to be honest, when they were in school, when they were doing the online school, I would get lonely because I would be in the house and they'd be on their computers doing their work, and I was so lonely. So I would just bust into their rooms and start dancing and having fun, and they would be like, "Mommy, you are annoying." So there's that. At this point, you know, all of my kids have gotten on my nerves, so I can't pick one. At this point, they're annoying me. So I think we're even.
How is your relationship with Jamal today?
We're good. We're great. Actually, we're leaving tomorrow to go to Atlanta and stay there for a while. Yeah, we've been doing good. I mean, it's been hard because we really weren't able to travel in the beginning of the pandemic. I mean, we've been traveling since. So he drove to see me one time from Atlanta and surprised me, which was really nice. I was able to go to Atlanta for his birthday. So we've been seeing each other, not as much, but, you know, what can you do? He's out there, and say he's actually been calling me much more lately. Like, at first it was like 10 times a day. Now it's like 20 times a day. And I'm to the point where I'm like, look, You don't have anything to say, just don't call. Just don't. We're just not going to be on the phone, just on the phone. Okay. So right now we're going to cut back on the calls.
Oh, that's interesting. I feel like most women are like, call me more.
No. Well, I mean, he calls me a lot, and it's always FaceTime. And I'm like, we can talk normal. Remember back in the day when everybody just talked normally on the phone, just audio? Let's get back to that.
How are your daughters adjusting to this new normal with you two back together?
They're adjusting. At first they were like weirded out, confused, but now I think that they are used to it and they're fine. At the end of the day, they just want me to be happy, and they're very protective of me, which makes me happy that they are really mama's girls, and they just want to make sure that I'm happy. So they see that I am. So I think they're okay.
Are there any plans thus far for you guys to move in together?
No, only because, my kids are now in high school. I have
Yeah.
3 kids in high school, and I don't want to change that situation. I don't, I would never move them. High school is kind of important. So, no, but we do see each other a lot. And, let's be clear. At the end of the day, Gizelle kind of likes her freedom
Mm-hmm.
and
Mm-hmm.
her independence. I like to see you when I want to see you, and when I don't want to see you, I don't want to see you. So it's perfect.
Yeah. Yeah. I want to know how Every Hue Beauty is doing.
We're doing good. We've had some issues with regards to our Corona hurt our manufacturer. We're working on that. So we've had some issues with regards to Corona and our manufacturers, the factory being shut down. And so we're trying to make it through, but, it has affected the business in different ways. Like I never would have thought that the issue would be making the product and our factory and all that. Like, when something like a pandemic hits, I was just thinking that people would not be spending any money. They do. We just need to have the inventory, and we need to figure out our manufacturing.
Yeah, that's a definite unforeseen cost of all this.
Yeah.
In some bright news, your bestie Robyn and Juan officially got re-engaged in December. Did he come to
Yes.
you to get the details or to ask you to pick the ring, anything like that?
Let me tell you, I was all up in it, okay? There was nothing that was going to stop me from being all up in that whole mix. Gizelle was all up and through the engagement, the ring, the planning. Robyn is really like a sister to me, and I just want to see her happy, and I couldn't help it. I was just so excited. So I was, yes, Juan and I collaborated.
Which do you prefer, the engagement ring she now has or the tattoos?
The ring. Yes.
Okay.
I don't think I was a fan. I was never a fan of the tattoo. But yeah, I'm happy that a ring is now covering the tattoo.
And lastly, you touched on it a bit, but what can you tell us about the new housewife, Wendy?
I really like Wendy. Wendy's a smart woman, and she is fun. I always love a smart woman. I can't stand when you just can't really conversate and touch on several issues. And Wendy is definitely that. She has a whole lot of substance, but there's a whole nother side to Wendy. And Wendy likes to turn up. Wendy likes to have fun. She's amazing. She's a good addition to the group. And Wendy's greedy. I love a greedy girl. So when we go to a restaurant, Wendy likes to order 5 things. And I'm like, what are you doing? And she will eat it all. So, so if a girl likes to eat and likes to turn up, you're my kind of girl.
Amazing. I can't wait to meet her. I know the fans can't wait to meet her, and we just can't wait to see all you ladies on our TV every week.
Yes, I was sad when, I was really sad when they pushed us back. But you know what? With everything that's happened, I'm happy. Like
Yeah.
if I think Black Lives Matter would have taken over watching Potomac. So I'm happy.